There are moments in life that stretch far beyond their time, where seconds feel like entire years. That night was one of them. It was just a few hours past midnight when my phone lit up with a notification, but the weight it carried, it was heavy, like a decade crashing into a single moment. I hadn't even lived through the tomorrow I was promised, and yet it had already been shattered by a message that felt like it aged my soul. It was from Zach. And in that one moment, just reading the first few lines, I felt as if I had lived through a year of unease, a year of regret, a year of fear. Being used by someone for months, I stuck my neck out for you. I'm just asking for one date. I can come to your house. Each line he wrote added more weight. Every sentence was like walking deeper into a shadow I didn't realize was following me all semester. What I thought were fleeting looks in class, those awkward glances I dismissed, were actually bricks. He used to build his own delusion. He spoke of commitment like it was earned by silent expectation. Of love, like it had been promised in passing eye contact. And worst of all, he framed rejection like betrayal. That night aged me. At 3 a.m., I stopped caring about timing or decency. I forwarded the message to everyone I could think of. My hands shook as I called my dad over and over. When he finally picked up, I couldn't even finish the story before breaking down. He read Zach's message in silence, and then fury. My dad sent him a message back that burned like fire. He called again and again, but Zach, the man who had no problem flooding my phone at night, now chose silence. The next day, I walked into the police station. The message printed on paper felt even heavier than it had on my screen. I said the words I didn't think I'd ever need to say. I want to press charges. They tried to contact him, called, texted, but Zach was gone, like he'd vanished into the dark he came from. Somehow, between my dad's voice and the law's looming presence, that basement-dwelling creep decided to disappear. I never saw him on campus again. And though it ended without confrontation, I'll never forget the way those moments stretched, how one night carried the weight of years, how one message turned minutes into miles. Because now I know exactly what it feels like to live through years, in a single terrifying moment.
The kids said the word, help. My heart sank instantly. I couldn't feel my legs. I began scanning the area with my flashlight, frantically swinging it in every direction to pinpoint where the voice was coming from. I was certain it came from the row of parked cars, but I saw no child. In fact, there was no one. Just me and my dog, who didn't even seem to notice. He was too busy sniffing around the bushes nearby. Then I heard it again. The word help was repeated 3 more times, and it was definitely coming from my left, where the cars were. Panic crept in fast. My dog's ears perked up this time, and he turned his head in the same direction I was facing. That's when I realized just how wrong this all felt. The voice, it didn't sound exactly like a kid. It was almost a mix of a child and an adult. It's hard to explain. And each time the word help was spoken, the tone was exactly the same. No emotion, no urgency. Just a flat, muffled statement like it had been recorded. My dog and I ran all the way home. I told my mom what happened. She was confused, and I suggested we call the police, just in case someone was in danger. She didn't think it was necessary, but the questions haunted me. Why was the voice muffled? Was someone hidden inside one of those big trucks or SUVs? Or was it something worse, waiting for me to come closer? I try not to think about it anymore, but even now, it still deeply unsettles me. Story 2. The hole in the closet. This is the reason my parents moved out of our family home, a home passed down for 3 generations. I've struggled with depression since I was a kid. I often felt worthless, so I spent a lot of time alone in my room. Our house was surrounded by woods on 3 sides, with a forest separating us from our nearest neighbors. My room was at the back corner, with windows facing the trees. For a scared kid who feared the dark, it was a terrifying setup. It started around age 10. First, it was my night light. It had color settings, and I always kept it on red. One night, I woke up briefly and noticed it had changed to blue. A week later, it happened again. Then, one morning, I found the night light unplugged on the floor. I asked my parents, but they brushed it off as a glitch. Soon after, it disappeared entirely. That's when I knew they were lying, probably trying to force me to grow out of it. Then came the sleepless nights. I kept waking up for no reason. One night, I heard rustling from my closet. My dad checked, it was just toys and posters. But the rustling kept happening. For 4 nights straight. Finally, my dad got angry. He started ripping everything out of the closet to prove there was nothing. That's when he pulled down a poster, and behind it was a hole. A deep, dark opening in the wall. My mom screamed. My dad ran outside and discovered a tunnel from the woods directly to my room. We left that night. My parents never spoke of it again. I stayed with my aunt until we moved. To this day, I'm horrified knowing someone may have been inside my room every night, just watching. I still don't know what they wanted. Maybe I never will.